Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our FST Live. If you're checking this out, you are on our YouTube channel. We came on YouTube to come and connect everything that's happening around FST. So, if you like our content, you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. You'll be able to see much more things coming out of FST, and whether that be our lectures or talking about our programs. Today, I have some very special guests with us that all the way talking from our online program to what's happening around campus, and a little bit later we'll be going over our hearing from our development department. So what's new in development neck of the woods. So definitely want to just welcome everyone, and welcome to my special panel that's today. Looking forward to another great live. As you may know, that we are having social media live week. So we've been hopping around to different channels and talking it out and having a good time. So again, welcome everyone. And my name is Gigi Betancourt, and I am in marketing over here at an enrollment for the Franciscan School of Theology. And it is my honor to work with both John and Maria, and then get to know Brother Damien as part of our FST, one of our FST students. So welcome. I'm going to go ahead and pass this right over to John to introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is John Gonzales, and I am the Associate Director of Admissions and Recruitment at FST. I've been involved with admissions work for a little over 8 years now. Newer to the FST team, but I definitely feel part of the family here. It's a great place. It's a great school. I work really closely with Gigi, and so it's been a great experience.
Thank you. Thank you, John. And I agree. It's a great experience. I'm very happy to work with you. Go ahead, Maria, introduce yourself on our live today.
Of course. Hi, everybody. My name is Maria Murra, and I am the marketing director for the Masters of Theological Studies in Franciscan Theology, which is the online program.
Thank you, Maria. And Brother Damien.
My name is Brother Damien Joseph. I am a brother in the Episcopal Franciscans, the Society of St. Francis, and I'm a first-year student in the MTS in Franciscan Theology.
Well, welcome. Thank you. And I'm glad to have conversation with everyone today, and dive a little bit deeper into our MTS Franciscan Theology program, and then also talking about what's happening on campus. Before we do, I always like to try to start our lives off with just a topic, a theme, something. Today I just thought, Wellness Wednesday, as we always talk about pausing and being present, and wellness is definitely a big factor in everything we do, and we want to be, we want to do things that will promote wellness, and whether that be getting enough hours of sleep, or whether that be drinking more water and remembering to get our steps in. So I thought maybe we could share some wellness, our personal wellness, with those that are watching today. So I'll start first, and I've recently put back on my Fitbit watch to make sure that I get nice little dings to my arm that'll say hey, did you get your steps in this, you have 15 more minutes, make sure you get 250 steps in. And that's really helped me of pausing and remembering, okay, get off the computer and go out there and do, whether it just be walking outside, taking a deep breath, enjoying the trees, talking to the plants, just enjoying being in that moment. So I think, and that also helps you pausing and being present. So I think that's my wellness share for this Wednesday. I'll go ahead and pass it to whoever like to also join.
I'll share. It's something that my wife and we just started finding ways to celebrate things in our life. It's been a thing we just spoke about recently. And for example, it really came from, we had to pay property taxes. We just bought a home. We're first time home buyers last year. And so we bought a home, we got property taxes, and it was like, man, it's expected, but also not exactly the most exciting thing to get. But then we realized, well, the fact that we have property taxes shows that we have a home and we're thankful for that home. So we decided to make our mindset to celebrate things. So we're trying to make it a celebration, like paying our property taxes is a celebration of the fact that we own a home, which we're very thankful for. And then, of course, we have a dog, Evie, Corgi, that we got last year as a puppy. And we wanted to celebrate her too. So my wife and I are just talking about little things we can celebrate. So like we celebrated Evie being in our lives. The other day we went to the beach and she had a little shark floaty thing. We took her into the water and kind of teach her and get her more comfortable with the water. So we're just finding ways to just celebrate different things in our life, like celebrating the fact that we have a home we're thankful for, celebrating that we have this dog now that's a part of our life that we love. So in so all these kinds of little things, we're like, let's celebrate that, let's celebrate this, let's celebrate that, just because we want to and be thankful for it. So that's kind of what my wife and I have been doing lately.
That's a wonderful share, and that's a great thing to promote wellness. So love that.
Just celebrating everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And how about you, Maria?
So every morning before I start work, I have my big cup of coffee. And because I know I'm going to be online for a good at least 8 hours, what I do is I turn off any electronics. No cell phone, no TV, no radio, nothing, and just enjoy the cup of coffee in silence, basically. So it makes me center for the rest of the day. Put all the thoughts in order, and just the day goes by super fast when I do that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That no electronics in the morning I definitely think that promotes wellness. It aligns with our Wellness Wednesday. I love it. How about you, Brother Damien?
Oh boy, what a great focus question. It's something that gets lost in the busyness of our lives. So I'm thinking of two big things that are part of my wellness regimen, shall we say. One of them I'm right on board with Dogs as Wellness. When we were together on Facebook yesterday.
Oh, did we lose him?
Oh no.
Probably the connection.
Yeah,
it will all come back around.
I'll be back.
We'll put those good thoughts into the universe. And while we're waiting for Brother Damien to come back, Dr. Pryds, we were just talking about, like, before we start off, it's just like a Wellness Wednesday. So what wellness promote that you would like to share?
I think I'm in sync with everybody here. So I have a dog and I love to go walking with him, and it really helps keep me grounded just to get out and walk a few miles every day, but also to connect with people in the neighborhood. All the dog walkers, we all know each other and we chat with each other. So that's a good way of feeling the well-being of the day. But I also spend a fair amount of time in silence. Maybe I'll go outside and sit, or what I practice sound meditation when I go hiking. So I don't know about you, but my mind can just go on and on and on, and I can have all this inner chatter. And so when I practice sound meditation, I train my ear on trying to listen to everything I can hear, and I identify it. And that just keeps me out of my head and connecting with everything around me.
Well, absolutely. And I agree. And you put it so great. That chatter in your head, sometimes it takes a lot to shut that off. So just going outside and listening to Mother Nature too, of channeling that silence it's a good technique to have. That's wonderful. And Brother Damien, I know you were just about to say something before technology decided to.
I would love to blame technology for that, but you can't blame technology when you grab a hold of your computer and actually hit the off switch. So leave it to me. But I was about to remark on dog wellness and how so often it's what keeps me sane when I'm doing schoolwork. Is this little girl who's always right behind me. This is Annie.
That's Annie.
One of our 2 Friary dogs. She's the calm one, as you can tell. So she's a big wellness help for me. One of my other biggest, I think, wellness practices that I've done a lot of lately, I've done photography most of my life. And a number of years ago, someone introduced me to the concept of photography as a contemplative practice. And so I've been doing a lot of contemplative photography over the last few years, and simply using the camera and the practice of photography as a way to look at the world differently, to look at the world closely, to focus literally and figuratively on seeing the world around us. And it's a great Franciscan practice to connect with creation as it is.
Absolutely. And that's a great lead in to today's agenda, really, of like just going back and, talking more about what's offered here at the Franciscan School of Theology and why FST. And, one of we would like to talk about is our FST Franciscan Theology online degree program. And, we're very honored to have Dr. Darleen Pryds with us. Dr. Pryds, I didn't get a chance to introduce yourself, so I wanted to do that really quick before I, again, talked about the rest of the agenda for today.
Yeah, well, I'm Darleen Pryds. I've been teaching at FST since 2001, so that's a long time. And I've seen lots of changes over the years, but what I also have experienced is a deepening of my own personal understanding of the Franciscan tradition and the appropriation of that tradition for my own faith.
Well, that's wonderful. We're very honored to have you here today. And as we discuss more about the online program and then also hear, John, from you, what's happening on campus. And we're just going to have a really nice, conversation. And then about 3:40, Michelle Greenlee from Development will be joining us and talking about any development updates. Dr. Pryds, I know that really conscious of also our time together. So we want to start off with having you and talking about our program, and then with also Brother Damien as a student that's now in our program as well. So it's amazing to both have you here on this live today, and we'll go ahead and start right into it. So
yeah. Thanks, Gigi. I have to teach tonight in person, so I'm gonna just launch right in. And first of all, thank you for putting this together, and it's great to see you, Damien, here in this little chat box.
Yes,
we see each other online a lot, actually every day. The thing I wanted to say about the online MTS in Franciscan Theology is that we are about to finish the first course, teaching it. And I can say, and I've said it repeatedly in the last couple of weeks, this is exceeding my expectations. When Bill Short and I put together the first course last year, it was an honor to work with Bill Short and to put this course together. And we both learned new things, not only about how to present Franciscan material through the online modality, but I know that I learned more about the Franciscan tradition by working with him and putting this course together. And that's really the hallmark of this online degree, is that it's completely collaborative. I don't know of any other online degree that does this, but each of the faculty at FST, we all have our niche expertise. We could all be creating a course in a rather time-efficient way if we were creating it individually, but we've chosen to do it together. And working together, it takes a little time, but boy, the benefits are really profound individually. And I hope it comes through in the course material. Damien, I'll let you talk about that. Mm-hmm. But we wanted to design a course and a program that meets the needs of a range of students, those who are just beginning to learn about the Franciscan tradition and those who are experts living it out, like Brother Damien. But that this isn't just a degree program or a course that conveys information. It's not something that you're just going to listen to recorded lectures and take notes and take quizzes and exams. No, this is material that, like I said, Bill and I we're using for our own faith and we're really reflecting on while we were creating it. So we can engage in this material, in an ongoing way. I was thinking about this session when I was driving in today, and I was thinking, I could actually take this first course, it's called Following Francis. I could take it. I created it, but I could take it and still go even deeper into the Franciscan tradition, because the kinds of assignments that we use, it's just not cognitive information. It's really deep reflection. So I guess that's really what I wanted to convey, is that this degree program is created with heart and mind and a lot of soul and a lot of hope that we are really conveying to everyone who participates, the love of Christ and the love of the Franciscan tradition.
That's wonderful. And I know that we're going to have a lot of or back and forth on the dialogue. I wanted to encourage anyone, because I'm starting to see some comments come through. If you have any comments or questions, send over. I will go ahead and bring them to Dr. Pryds or to the panel to be able to answer them to you. Or if you unfortunately weren't able to see us live right now and you're watching it later on tonight or at your convenience, if you have questions, please reach out and we'll definitely, I'll get the answers for you. And, we want to just connect. That's all about connecting. What's happening here, we want to get it out to our community, our communities out there. So, Brother Damien, I know that you would probably respond to Dr. Pryds.
Absolutely. I think that that what Dr. Pryds has just said about the way that the program has been put together and the way that it's structured is just right on the money. As my experience of the program has been that I've had some experience with online learning before, and some of it's been good and some of it's been not so good. And unfortunately, especially early on, as online education was beginning to happen, there was a sense of giving work that was a way of keeping people busy or making them feel like they were doing something useful. Or, I've literally taken classes where your assignment was to report how much of the reading you did, or to hand in a list of the subheadings from the chapter to show that you went through the chapter, or things like that. And so I was slightly hesitant coming into the program. I had been looking at in-person programs. I and two other brothers from our community were living in New York City, and I was looking at some programs there in person. We had some changes in our community that meant several of us needed to move back to our main house here in San Francisco. And I thought, well, there goes my education proceeding for now. And it was right about that same time that I got an email forwarded from one of our brothers that said, "Have you seen this?" And we'd been familiar with FST. They used to be right here in Berkeley. We certainly know lots of people that had been through the in-person program in the past. But this was the first I'd known that an online program was in the works, and I thought, well, this may be an opportunity to kind of move ahead while things are still in transition for us. And I've found very quickly that the program has been designed very carefully and I think very cleverly to allow people to engage not only at a significant academic level, and it is academically significant. There's no sense of busy work here. There's no sense of here's something that you can just fill in the blanks like a Mad Lib and and call it a class complete, but rather that it provides an opportunity at the academic level for people to engage at various levels. Dr. Pryds referenced the idea that having designed the course, she could take it herself and still benefit from it. And I can see exactly how that would be, because one of the great joys so far has been being able to interact with Dr. Pryds about various things and to have her say to me, you've lived in Franciscan community. You know the basics of this. Don't give me back the stuff that you learned in first year as a brother, go ahead and go deeper with this assignment. Go ahead and explore pieces of this content that you haven't gotten to interact with before. And that's exactly what I was looking for. And as she mentioned as well, and this is very natural to the Franciscan tradition, but beautifully expressed in this program, is that while this is not by any means a non-academic degree, it's very academically rigorous, but it's not merely an academic degree, because as the Franciscan tradition really demands, and as our Christian tradition should demand of us as believers, it invites us to enter into not just the head, but into the heart, to enter not just into learning the logos, the facts, but into encountering the logos, Jesus, the Word made flesh, and really finding new ways of bringing this new knowledge into our own spirituality and passing it on to others.
If I can add to all of that, thanks, Damien. I'm glad you took my comments with the intention that I gave them, and that's the great benefit of this degree program and at FST in general, is that we generally have small classes that allow for the particular engagement of instructor and students, so that I can see each student as an individual and meet them where they're at, and I can put them in dialogue with one another. So, for example, I think I suggested, Damien, that you contact another student who might be able to help you publish some things in a certain venue, and so that's just the great benefit. I would be remiss if I didn't also include that this program is really dependent on FST's collaboration with the University of San Diego. Boy, the whole beauty and the whole sophistication of the online degree is because that we're collaborating with the Learning Design Center at the University of San Diego. So Bill Short and I, when we were creating that first course, we worked closely with an instructional design expert and an instructional technologist. And we met every week talking about how we could format the material in a really productive way, but also in a way that conveyed beauty. And that was an ongoing process. And I will just admit that it was in the final week of course production that we finally hit on the image that I wanted for the banner that goes across all of the weeks. We had been searching for an image. We'd had one image of footsteps in the sand. But, it was just one day I was looking at the screen. It's like, gosh, that just looks like dirty footsteps. I don't know if that's really what I want. And we went combing through catalogs of images. And when I saw the image that I chose, it's like, this is it. This is really the beauty of the Franciscan way. So, yeah, there's deep academic engagement in this program. There is significant spiritual reflection in this program, and there is ongoing engagement with beauty.
Yeah.
Well, I have to mention too, on the couple of comments that come in were actually just one was, so good to see Professor Pryds being passionate about FST's work. So thank you. And then another one, just another Dr. Jerry Joseph, OFS, said thank you. So it's great information coming out. So just all be sharing as comments are being put into our thread.
Wonderful. So, well, yes. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yes, absolutely. And then again, I encourage, if you have questions, if you have comments, we will definitely get to them. So I encourage, send us those comments. We did have a couple comments that came in yesterday after our live on Facebook. Dr. Pryds, one of the questions is are professors available outside of the class? Are there office hours available for our students, our online students?
Absolutely, for the online students. The coursework is completely asynchronous, and that's on purpose, right? Because we are pitching this degree program for people really around the world and with very busy lifestyles and schedules. So the coursework itself, people are engaging when it's convenient or possible for them to do so. But faculty, the instructors have office hours once a week. And I've been trying to stagger them at different times of the week and different times of the day so that I can meet different people's schedule. And then, of course, I have one-on-one Zoom appointments with people. I also engage with questions through email. Yeah. So yeah, I've talked on the phone, I've used Zoom, and I've used email. Guess I could use FaceTime next time.
Right. So lots of different channels connecting. So you are available, or professors are available to help during the entire process. And Maria, I know that there are also help within the on your side of things as well, right? Yeah. So if students have questions. Yeah. I don't know if I can hear you.
She's muted. I think you're muted, Maria.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
What was I saying? Oh, yes. So we have the admin side of things where there's support from USD when it comes to the Student Success Center. You have the program coordinator, and they help you with anything that's university related. We're talking about transfer of credits, adding or dropping classes, et cetera, et cetera. There's even a writing center just in case somebody needs it. Support all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
And if I could also sing the praises of USD, because the Student Success Center really is proactive in reaching out to the students as soon as they enroll and along the way. And Damien can probably speak to this. Mm-hmm. And I want to give a shout out to the USD tech services, because if you have any tech problems, give them a call. And I don't know how they do it, but they are just always very clear, patient, and expert in giving advice on how to clear up any technological problem.
Wonderful.
Yeah, the tech and administrative side of things has been so seamless. It's really been helpful. The access to the technology has been great. I alluded to that I heard of this program after having just returned to San Francisco, and I literally heard of the program the day before applications were due. And I said, this is crazy to try to apply to a graduate program in 24 hours. But, with working with the administrative staff in the admissions office and, the various tech ways of doing things that streamlined everything and made that possible. And everyone was tremendously helpful. And so much of it is just is designed in a way that is, I'm maybe more tech savvy than average for my generation, but I'm hardly a computer genius, and everything just happens so seamlessly with everything from I can remember even before the days of computers what a hassle it could be in my undergraduate years to get registered for classes. And in this program, it's done automatically. My class registration just happens for the next class. With the program, of course, being set out in advance of this is the next class that I need, and it just shows up like magic. But I know that it takes a lot of people working to make that magic.
I mean, but that also is showing the testament of the program, and and that's what it should show to you as the student. Mm-hmm. And so that's wonderful to hear that as a testimonial to the program itself. So thank you so much for sharing that. And Dr. Pryds, and then Brother Damien and Maria and John. Another question we had received yesterday is, do I have to be Catholic to enroll in this program? And, in this program, and then also on our on-campus degree program. So I know that was another question that had we received yesterday.
No, the curriculum is from a Roman Catholic perspective. And And the Franciscan tradition is broader than the Roman Catholic perspective. So as long as you're aware that the curriculum itself is going to be from this Roman Catholic perspective, and then you can add your voice from whatever faith tradition or Christian denomination that you're from. Obviously, Damien is a good example of this from the Episcopalian Anglican tradition. I think there's lots of opportunities for even interfaith dialogue through this, but in all honesty, the curriculum, the readings are all from the Catholic perspective.
Yeah, I would definitely echo that. If it weren't open to people who aren't Roman Catholic, I'd be out. In the Episcopal Church, we have a broad swath of our tradition that we call the Anglo-Catholic tradition, and so we look very Catholic in our ways of worship. We look very Catholic in much of our theology, but we are outside of the Roman Catholic tradition and the Roman Catholic authority structure, and there are certainly differences as well. And that's one of the things that I've found really beautiful about the Franciscan tradition. When I first became a brother in the Anglican tradition, I expected that interactions with the larger Franciscan family would be along the lines of, well, okay, yeah, but you're not really a Franciscan. And that has never been my experience. We work very closely with the OFM and OFM Capuchin brothers in several places where we live, and have always been treated like family. In fact, when a few years ago on pilgrimage in Assisi, there was a brother at the Church of Santa Maria degli Angeli, which is one of the primary sites of the Franciscan early movement. It was the place where a little church called the Porziuncola was, where Francis and his followers first lived. And the brother there spent hours and hours giving us a tour around the public areas of the site, and then through the museum, which was closed at the time, and then through the enclosure, including to taking us to having lunch in the refectory with the friars and so on. And we just at one point said, you must have other things to do. You've been with us for hours. And he said, but your family, this is your home. And that's very much been the message in this program as well. I know and a couple of times in our discussions, I've said, I don't know if I should comment on that. That's a Roman Catholic question, and it's not my thing. And the encouragement has been, no, you're allowed to have an opinion on that nonetheless. And I found more generally that the Franciscan tradition is one that reaches beyond the usual borders of Christianity, and people hear the distinctives of Franciscanism, and they see the life of Francis, or they make contact with various ways that we operate or ways that we think, and they go, now see, if I'd known the church was like that. And so sometimes there's a very real connection that might not otherwise have been. I've taught little classes now and again on the Franciscan tradition. I have done some recurring teaching with the Carl Jung Institute, the Carl Jung Foundation in New York City. And these are people who are psychotherapists who want to engage with mysticism in the Franciscan tradition, not because it's part of their own religious faith, but because it informs their encounter with the world in meaningful ways. And I think that could be true for anyone in seeking out a grounding in Franciscan thought.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We just actually had another comment in our feed. I just wanted to share with everyone from Denise C. Peace and all good. Thank you so much for hosting this. I am a secular Franciscan in Pennsylvania who is currently working on my personal statement for the application. So that's wonderful. That's wonderful. That's wonderful to see that connection happening, especially across all of our platforms. That goes to show it's important. People, are looking and yearning for more information, and we'll keep on having these lives so we can.
And shout out to Pennsylvania, my home state.
Oh, see, even there you go.
There we go.
And there's another student in the program who's from Pennsylvania.
Yes,
So
yes, yeah.
A growing community out there.
Yes. Well, Dr. Pryds, I didn't have any other questions that came in for you. If there's anything you'd like to say, I know you're preparing for your on-campus class tonight, so I want to be mindful of that as well, just to go along with our Wellness Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. This has been a real pleasure. I love doing these live events with all of you, and I love talking about FST. So if anyone has any other questions, please feel free to send me an email. It's really easy to find my email, or send it to Gigi and she'll forward it to me. All right. So Absolutely. I hope to see all of you online or here in person.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And then Maria, if you wouldn't mind, would you talk about anything upcoming? I just want to give, just anyone that's listening, anything upcoming events as far as your application process, webinars. I wanted to give you this moment to what's new.
Well, we are a month and a half away from the application deadline, so it's coming up quickly. Denise, you probably want to get on that. Other than that, everything else, let's see, we have with FST, we're working on the office hours, a series of interviews for those viewers out there to get to know our faculty in a more informal kind of way, similar to what you just did with Dr. Pryds. And I think that's it for the moment. And anything else, we'll share it on social media.
Absolutely. And what Maria was just talking about is we will have office hours as part of our YouTube channel. We'll add it to our playlist, and we'll then go and share that across all of our other channels as well. So thank you, Maria, for talking to us about that. I'm going to go ahead and kick this over to my wonderful colleague, Mr. John Gonzales. John, talk to us about what's happening on campus. I know that we've heard a lot about of our online program, because that's what we were talking about today. That was our focus. But we also want to talk about what's happening on campus. I wanted to give you this, this spotlight.
Sure. Thanks, Gigi. So, of course, we've been doing the social media takeover this week. We've already had Instagram, Facebook Live. Of course, you're watching the YouTube Live, which, by the way, if you're enjoying this video stream or any of our other videos that we have posted, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's a great way to keep up to date with, you'll be notified, of all the new videos that'll be posted. So definitely show some support. We'd greatly appreciate it. And that way you, once again, can stay connected with all the videos that we're posting. We'll continue on the social media stuff this week. We'll have Instagram and Facebook stories tomorrow, and then Friday we'll have a live Instagram live coffee connection, which will be really exciting. And then we also have virtual office hours, open office hours happening really soon here. That's going to be Thursday, October 28th. You can connect with us through Zoom. It's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So those are some virtual things. But as far as, physically on campus, Tuesday, November 16th, we're going to have an on-campus open house coming up. Great way to get to know about FST. You can hear from about our programs, hear from professors, hear from students. You can connect with us, admissions, and really get to know everything you need to know about FST so you can make a decision and really get the info you need to decide if this is what you're looking for, if this is the right fit for you. And there's no better way to find out than in person. Of course, virtually is great too if you can't make it. But if you're in the area or if you want to travel out here, we'd love to meet you in person. Also, just want to plug my parish visits. I do visit parishes on Sunday mornings. So if you might want me to stop by a parish on a Sunday morning with an information table after Mass, I'd be happy to do that. Just reach out to me. And of course, we'll want to connect with whoever we need to connect with to make that possible. So definitely reach out. And then one more thing I wanted to mention too, speaking of application deadlines, if you're looking for on-campus enrollment, we have an application deadline coming up for our next term on campus, which is going to be December 15th will be the application deadline for that. And then classes will begin January 24th. So it's not too late for those who are also interested in applying for our on-campus programs.
Right. And the best way, really, John, is I went ahead and put your phone number on the bottom of the screen. So if you see, reach out to John and make an appointment book a visit on campus with John, and he'll be able to assist you, or we'll be able to send you the right link to set up an appointment. So
yes, don't be shy. I'm here to just meet with you and connect with you, and once again help you find out if this is what you feel like is the right fit for you. So please don't be shy. I enjoy having conversations with prospective students.
Well, wonderful. Thank you, John, for that update. And I want to also, now we have our wonderful colleague, welcome, is Mitchelle. Want to introduce yourself to the live audience today?
Certainly. Good afternoon, morning, evening, wherever in the world you might be. My name is Mitchelle Greenlee. Yeah, there's a T in there, but you can just ignore that. It's Mitchelle Greenlee. I'm the development coordinator here at FST. What does that mean? There's lots of things in the world you could be developing. What does development mean at FST? It means developing relationships. We're developing relationships with our people who donate to the school to help our students succeed without having to worry about a financial backdrop. We have people developing in our alumni relations, helping people stay connected within the FST community and the Franciscan community overall around the world. We develop in academics for ongoing education, hosting a variety of lectures, typically about once a month, generally on the first Thursday of the month, 7 p.m. Pacific time. You can catch us. But as John and Gigi and everyone has said, if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you get notified when all of our videos are uploaded to the channel. So our lectures typically, like I said, occur on a Thursday in the beginning of the month, but then we record them, edit them, put in some pretty pictures and stuff, and add it to our YouTube channel. And so you can get notified if it's in a time zone where being up at 7 p.m. Pacific isn't right for you. You can watch the video at a later time. So those are some of the things that we develop here in the Development Center at FST.
Well, that was wonderfully done. And Mitchelle, we at the beginning of the live, and I want to also kick this over to you, is our Wednesday, we're talking about like Wellness Wednesday, right? And how do you promote wellness, and you want to share something that you do that helps you, that could also help others?
Well, my wellness, you might be able to find it if you look pretty close here. Oh, yeah, there's one.
Is it is there Mickey ears?
That would be Mickey. Yes, I'm a Walt Disney fan, and everything positivity that comes from the mouse exudes through me, and that is my level of wellness, is every magical joy that he can bring. He's really, I think in his heart he was a Franciscan, because not the new commercial side of things, but the bringing joy to people and living a magical life every day through just loving others. That's where I find my wellness, is just dreaming of a mouse that isn't on 4 feet crawling around. Not a fan of those ones.
Well, we care about them too. It's care for all creation.
Don't you like them?
I believe that the original slogan or lyrics were "When you wish on Sister Star." I'm quite sure that was it, wasn't it?
I think so, right? It should have been Sister Star.
It had to be. Yeah. So Disney, Francis, they're right there.
Right. Well, Mitchelle, I wanted to talk about real quick. You went over the lectures. You just had a campaign go out, and I wanted to also bring this into the live today. Is you were offering another way to stay up to date with FST, and that is a text to stay up to date. And I have across the screen, so it'll say "Stay up to date" at FST Text Francis. So talk to me about that a little bit, about the program and what you're doing in development to keep everyone connected.
Certainly. Thank you. Yeah, it's something new to us. We're trying to get hip, if you will. You can use some of our ads. You'll even see a little QRL so you can scan it, but you don't need it. The phone number's right there. You just text that number and then type the word Francis. And what that opportunity allows you is that whenever, say, for example, a lecture is coming up, we will send out a short, brief lecture notice saying, hey, so-and-so is presenting next Thursday. Here's where you can register, and you'll be able to get that link right on your phone. Click the link, register, and you got it. And then the night of the lecture, we will set, or not the day that it occurs, the 24 hours that it occurs, about 12 hours before, we will send you the Zoom link to the actual lecture itself. And so you're all set to go without having to find out which email address did you put it in and where did it go to and did it go to spam, and you can just skip all that. Skip the spam and come directly to us. The only caveat is that you have to opt in, because there are some people because you're an alumni or you filled out a form at some point that we do have your phone number. We're not going to just willy-nilly text you things just because we have your number. You need to opt in. So just text that phone number, text the word Francis, and then we will be able to send you that information. What we would also be able to send you information on are, sometimes we have impromptu opportunities, say for alumni or for Franciscans in the community. For example, we compile, work together with, coordinate with the Center for Catholic Thought on the USD campus. And in doing so, sometimes they'll have lectures come up and we'll be able to shoot out a text to say, hey, here's this other lecture that you may not already know about that we've posted in our advertising media forums, but now you might want to know about this one as well. Or if we have a donor who says that they're going to match funds for X amount of time towards a specific scholarship. We have lay scholarship, we have religious scholarship, many ways that we try to support our students while they're with us. And so doing that, we might send out a text, say, hey, till November 13th, we're having this extra promo that this donor is going to match funds. Please donate now, or whatever the case might be. We're looking to maybe try to get onto the Thanksgiving bandwagon when you have your Go Shop Everywhere Friday, and then you do your, I think it's Give to Small Business Saturday, and by Tuesday you're like, I need to give to someone else. And it's like, yes, give to us. And so you can donate to on Giving Tuesday. And so we are hoping to launch a Giving Tuesday program. And so if you opt in to our Text Francis, we'd be able to text you and let you know how to do that quick and easy, help our little scale go up on the money we're raising to help our students be successful here at FST.
Wonderful, and wonderful programs that are coming out of the development office. I know we're in awe on any type of our community meetings, so our team meetings together. So appreciate all your hard work in the development office.
For a small school, we keep really busy.
Yes, there's definitely multiple areas of all of our wonderful things that are happening at FST. You were talking about the lectures. Do you have any upcoming lectures that are coming up?
Well,
save the date.
Fancy you should mention that.
Okay.
November 4th. Not only do we have a lecture on November 4th, brace yourself. We have the president of the Franciscan School of Theology doing a lecture, which if you have ever heard Father Garrett Galvin present before, he's remarkable. His knowledge in depth and breadth on everything Franciscan, but specifically to Genesis, and it's phenomenal. As a matter of fact, I would recommend, during COVID, we launched during the pandemic when everybody was really around the world, couldn't go anywhere. We wanted to make sure that people still had an ability to get on the computer and be able to feel connected to something or someone. And so we had a whole 6-part series that we posted to our YouTube page, which, once again, if you are subscribed to our YouTube page, you would see that email that'll pop up and say, hey, there's a new series on the channel. And so it went through from 2 days before Christmas through Advent that the different videos came out so you could watch it. And so in that series was hosted by Father Garrett Galvin, our FST president. And so he is going to be presenting again. He's keeping us a little on the shy side of what his topic is actually going to be on November 4th, but being the amount of lectures that he's done for us already, I know it'll be phenomenal. And he's really easy to listen to. Like, sometimes you get on Zoom and you're like, and he's not that way at all. He's very engaging. So I highly recommend November 4th. And then we have a returning lecturer coming in December, Father Armstrong. And so that should be a great lecture. He's going to be continuing the series that he had started back, well, I believe it was last fall.
Okay.
And so that should be, I'm not sure what direction he's taking that quite yet, but you can also, again, on our YouTube channel, go and watch his previous lecture, learn a little bit about where he started, so then it can take you on to whatever the next part of this journey is going to be. But given his experience in lecturing, I'm certain that if you haven't watched the previous one, you're still going to be able to gain a lot from that lecture. So.
Wonderful. And I know one of the questions too, Mitchelle, that we've gotten on this, like, because we're reaching out to our audience right now through our social platforms, is are the Zoom lectures, is it just Zoom online lectures? Are we having on campus and with the Zoom capability online and in-person lectures coming up? What are the plans of the rollout for this coming semester?
Excellent question. We have done one when I mentioned that we connect with the CCTC here on campus at USD. And so we did do one live Zoom lecture. And it worked out really well. So
it really did. You commend you, by the way. Silent cheer on that. On Father
hopefully we'll be able to do it again. It was really a lot of fun to see a few people. And I mean, we didn't touch or anything, but they were 6 feet. A hug was nearby, and everybody was in a mask. And it was right here in the beautiful campus. And it was on a Tuesday. And it was on a Monday night. And so school was still running for the students, yet we were able to allow some parking privileges for those who did come to campus, that they could park easily, direct them right to the building, have the lecture inside, had a good sized audience present, and then had, of course, a huge audience online. And the reason I say a huge audience is it was the launching of Father Joseph Kenichi's book, which is a 10-year research project, basically, culminating in an awesome, well, I'll let you read his book. It's a really good book. But that what it was there for, and so people got to meet Father Joseph Kenichi in person, as well as online, and introduced to a whole new audience of readers the topic of Catholic history in the United States since the council to the Cold War. So it was a very interesting topic from a fascinating man. And then we did that in person. So to answer your question, we hope to do more of those. We're not racing to it because the Zoom has been really successful for our international and really across the nation audience.
Right.
So we don't want to do anything that would jeopardize their opportunities to learn, particularly since so many parts of the world are still in a pandemic environment that doesn't really allow them to get out and experience the Franciscan charism in other ways. And so we're happy to be able to provide these lectures. I don't really foresee, since it's gone so well, a time where we won't have our lectures on Zoom. We will try to always, once we even do return to more in-person things, keep our lectures also recorded. Maybe not always live, but at least recorded and promptly put onto the YouTube channel, which if you subscribe to, you'll know about.
Yes. Well, Mitchelle, that is a wonderful thing that about the lectures, and that's wonderful news moving forward, because it is about connecting, and it's connecting our online community for like with Brother Damien, to be able to attend the lectures and our events, and being able to have both, right? And so, and because we're always thinking about that as a community as a whole, and so it is also about across all of the channels, and no matter what time zone you're in.
It's pretty exciting. We have a young lady in Nigeria who I was expressing to her that she could certainly watch the recording. And she's like, no, I want to go live because I want to attend the Q&A after. And she never asks a question, but she just enjoys every moment of it. So she gets up at 4 a.m. to watch the lectures, because that's what time it is in her time zone at the time. We even had a presenter once present from Italy. And so it was, I believe, 2 a.m. their time when they presented. So we have some pretty dedicated presenters, lecturers who really want to share their message with the world. So it's pretty, and several who've done it from the East Coast also.
Well,
and
thank you.
A lot of people.
Thank you, Mitchelle. That's an amazing. Thank you for the update. I'm glad to hear. Is there anything else coming out of development that you'd like to share with live?
Alumni Association is underway, and we're pretty excited about it. The alumni here at FST are just remarkable human beings. The manners in which they give back to the world are just fascinating. And so November 4th or November 1st, coming up here next week, will be our next newsletter. And so it goes out to everybody who has said that they want our newsletter. So if you want a newsletter, development@fst.edu. That's development@fst.edu. Just email me and I'll add you to the list. You'll get our newsletter, which has an alumni article where we feature an alumnus of oftentimes many years ago and see what have they done with their degree in the years since. You can see a summary of each of those articles on our website. If you go to fst.edu and look up under alumni, you'll find the alumni articles. And so there's a listing of people from multiple generations, some recent graduates, mostly graduates from a decade or 2 or 3 or 4 ago. The September alumni report was on a woman who was one of the first women to ever graduate from FST. So, and that was decades ago because we're just that cool.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Mitchelle, so much. I really, really appreciate it. And it kind of goes and shows you all parts of FST and how we come together and what's happening and making sure that those out, that are watching know what's happening too. So that is the whole goal of our lives and updates. So I do appreciate you joining us today. And I wanted to kick this back to the panel too, is any Brother Damien, any other final word that you were thinking or reflecting upon that you think that either the viewers may want to hear, kind of leave final words, talk to you, and then to Maria and John, and then Mitchelle.
Simply that I would encourage anyone who's thinking about pursuing any kind of continuing theological education to have a look at both the in-person and online programs at FST, particularly to recognize that there's a distinctive to this program. There are a lot of different ways to pursue a theological education, but I genuinely believe that pursuing a distinctively Franciscan theological education has its own great advantages. Not least of them is, again, the Franciscan commitment to engaging both head and heart, and to engaging both talk and walk, as it were, and the ability to look at a theology that is now well over 800 years old, and yet for many people will present them with a particular focus or particular facets of the faith that they may never have considered before. So it's well worth considering a specifically Franciscan education.
Well, thank you. And thank you for joining us on both yesterday and today, being on our, being interviewed and just talking freely about the program and your experience. And, you definitely have resonated with us and then with our audience as well. So the feedback we've been getting is wonderful. So thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely. Anytime. Well, now I'm going to be, we know where I have your email. And so, yeah, so thank you. And then also I wanted to send this over to my colleagues. Did you have anything else that you'd want to say before we end our live today, Maria or John?
Yeah, if anybody's interested in the MTS Franciscan Theology, they can just reach out to our enrollment advisors. They can read more about it at onlinedegrees.sandiego.edu, and they'll find Franciscan Theology right there. And we also, they can shoot us an email at theologicalstudies@sandiego.edu.
Okay, and then also when we save the live to our YouTube channel. We'll put all of the pertinent information, all the how to get a hold of you, Maria, John. I'll put your information, and then our text to stay informed to Michelle. We'll make sure that's all connected inside of the when it gets the live gets posted too. Okay.
Great.
Yeah, wonderful. And then John, I would like make sure that any final things you'd like to say today to our audience and before we close out.
Sure. Just stay connected with us and don't be shy. You know, people here are incredibly kind, incredibly nice. We're here to help. We're here to make sure you get the information you need as you're making your decision, as you're exploring this as an option. So of course, for the in-person degree programs, just give me a call, reach out. I'm here to help Monday through Friday. Reach out to me, call me, email me. We have a chat service as well. So whatever we can do, whatever information we can provide for you, we want to make sure we can be a help to you. So once again, do not be shy.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And then Michelle, I'm going to go ahead and you have the final words of today.
Woo! My final word is, if for some reason, if after all this wonderful information that you receive, you're like, but I'm just not ready for school yet. But man, I love this Franciscan tradition and I want to see it grow and continue. Development at FST.edu. We would be happy to take any monetary donations to help keep the school thriving, as well as our students successful with various scholarships that we're able to provide them. So always looking for a few good dollars to help the cause along as well. So thank you so very much for joining us. And thank you very much to Gigi for hosting everybody. How you put these things together all in 1 week is just absolutely mind-blowing. We all adore you.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I want to just thank everyone for tuning in, whether you're watching it right now, whether you're catching us later on your time zone. It's all about connection. It's all about relationships. It's all about our community. It's what ties us all together. Whether you're online or you're on campus, we appreciate you. And if you like what you watched today, subscribe. Continue to get that information. We're gonna keep pushing things out that will be add value to whether it be lectures or more about our programs. We want to connect. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask us, hit in the comments, or send me a message and I will get back to you. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day or night.
Peace.
Bye.